You're dreaming of moving to Florida's Space Coast. You've seen the spectacular rocket launches. You've heard whispers of that laid-back beach lifestyle. And let's be honest, the whole no state income tax thing sounds like a massive win. But that beautiful picture is only half the story. My name is Stephen Thomas, and as a real estate agent right here in Brevard County, I see the most expensive mistakes trip people up time and time again. That's why I have a link to book a 15-minute call to guide you in the right direction and simply discuss your goals. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. The link is in the description below. Now, these aren't small oops moments, they're huge financial lifestyle shocks. And these shocks can turn your dream move into a nightmare. The truth is, the gap between the idea of life on the Space Coast and the day-to-day reality can be thousands of dollars wide. And this, my friends, is why I'm making this video. I want to pull back the curtains to give you the real scoop. We're going to count down the top 10 things out-of-state buyers get wrong about moving to Brevard County. My goal isn't to scare you away, it's simply to prepare you. It's to give you the knowledge you need to make your move with confidence. So, you may want to take some notes on this one because we're going to be diving into the biggest misconception of them all. This is the big one. The number one reason on so many relocation checklists, and on the surface, it is true. Not having a state income tax is a real financial benefit. Do the math and imagine all this extra cash in their monthly budget. But here's the hard reality they miss. Florida's budget is like a shell game. The money you save on income tax often gets shuffled around and hidden under other costs that out-of-staters just don't see. While some data suggests the overall cost of living in Brevard is slightly below the US average, other reports indicate that it can be more expensive for a family. It's not the huge discount people expect. The single biggest budget wrecker, you guessed it, homeowners insurance. It is not just another line item here. It's a financial monster. Think of your budget as a bucket you're trying to fill. The income tax savings pour in over the top, but high insurance costs are like a giant hole in the bottom, draining it just as fast. For example, while one older report cited an average of $2,760, more recent data for 2025 shows premiums for a $450,000 home can easily top $12,539 a year. That's over $1,000 a month. Then you have property taxes, which are substantial, add in utility costs and potential hefty HOA fees, and suddenly that income tax savings is gone. The dream of a cheaper life can evaporate the moment that first insurance quote comes in. The headlines about Brevard County's job market is very splashy. 15,000 plus new high-paying jobs, they shout, talking up the economic boom from aerospace giants like SpaceX, Blue Origin, Northrop Grumman, and L3 Harris, with a huge concentration of STEM jobs. It's easy for an engineer or tech worker to assume they can just waltz in to an equivalent high-paying role. But the reality is a lot more complicated. Yes, the job market is on fire, but think of it like a high-performance engine that only runs on a very specific type of fuel. That fuel is aerospace, defense, and healthcare. If your skills aren't in those fields, the opportunities can be much slimmer. Outside of those core industries, wages are often lower than in a major hub like Orlando, let alone Austin or Seattle. The median household income in Brevard was about $75,817 in 2023. Plus, the overall economic picture isn't perfect. For instance, the unemployment rate in February 2024 was 3.3%, which was a slight increase over the previous year. People move here assuming their big city salary will follow them, letting them live like kings or queens. More often, they find that a comparable job comes with a pay cut, a tough pill to swallow when you're already dealing with those surprising insurance costs. With all the companies moving here, a lot of people imagine getting this white glove relocation experience. They picture winning a golden ticket with a big tech company rolling out the red carpet with a generous package covering moving trucks, temporary housing, and closing costs. The reality, the vast majority of moves to Brevard County are self-funded, while some highly specialized in-demand roles might come with a golden ticket that you're looking for. Those are the exception, not the rule. Most people get an offer letter and are on their own for logistics. That could be a 5-figure shock when you start pricing out cross-country movers and short-term rentals while you search for a home. And that process isn't always smooth. If you're applying for a government or county job, get ready to wait. The hiring process can feel like standing in a very long line. Then, when you get here, you're hit with another reality. Brevard County is extremely car dependent. Public transport is very limited. This isn't a city where you can get by with rideshare for a few weeks. You need a car just to function. Assuming you'll have an easy sponsored move, is one of the fastest ways to burn through your savings. Now, in a world of gorgeous drone footage and 3D virtual tours, it's tempting to think you can handle this huge life decision from behind the screen. You watch a few videos, pick a town that looks pretty, and you think, how different can it be? It's all Florida paradise, right? My friends, this is one of the fastest ways to end up with a serious case of buyer's remorse. Brevard County isn't one single place. It's a giant buffet where every dish is completely different. Buying sight unseen ignores the critical things you can only feel by being here. For example, the booming family-focused suburbs of Viera feel like a different universe from a laid-back, touristy vibe of Cocoa Beach, which is totally different from the more historic, quiet feel of Titusville. Without visiting, you can't know about the traffic on the causeways at 5 p.m. or the real personality of a neighborhood. Plus, the market itself can trap a remote buyer. If you fall for a new construction home, you might not realize the builder times can be all over the place. It's like ordering at a restaurant where one person gets their meal in 15 minutes and the person right next to them waits an hour for the same dish. That unpredictability can leave you stuck in an expensive rental for way longer than you budgeted. An exploratory trip isn't a luxury, it's your most important piece of homework. Now, if you're coming from a state without major climate risks, you probably think of homeowners insurance as a small, predictable part of your budget, kind of like a monthly streaming subscription. You get pre-approved for a mortgage, find a dream home, and leave the insurance details for the last minute. Then you think, how bad can it be? I'm telling you, underestimating your insurance is the single most catastrophic financial mistake a buyer can make. It's not a minor cost. It's a sleeping giant that can wake up and devour your budget. Recent data for a Florida home shows that for a $300,000 home, costs can be around $5,400 a year or more, well over double the national average. Now, because of our 72-mile coastline, premiums are massively influenced by home's location, age, and construction. A home built before 2001 will cost you a lot more. If it's on a barrier island, the cost skyrockets. Standard policies also don't cover floods, so that's a separate policy. And then there's the hurricane deductible. It's not a flat fee, it's a percentage, usually 2% to 5% of your home's insured value. So here's an example. On a $400,000 home, that's like having to pay a $20,000 cover charge out of pocket before your insurance ever kicks in after the storm. And that's crazy, right? Okay, we're halfway through, and if this all starts to feel like a lot, that's totally normal. This is exactly why I'm here. Figuring out the insurance market, the job scene, and the true cost of living is what I do for my clients every single day. My job is to protect you from these exact surprises. So treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed and want an expert on your side, I want to make this very easy for you. I put a link to my calendar in the description below, and you can book a free, no obligation discovery call directly with me. Grab a time that works for you, and we can talk through your personal situation and answer your biggest questions. My goal is to be a resource for you. I know this is a huge decision, and I want to help you make your move with total confidence. Now let's get back to the list and talk about the lifestyle you think you're moving here for. When people hear Florida coast, they often picture South Beach in Miami, packed boardwalks, world-class nightlife, and endless entertainment. They see photos of rocket launches and beautiful beaches and assume Brevard County is a high-energy 24/7 party. Let's be clear, Brevard County is not Miami. Comparing the two is like comparing a peaceful lake to a crazy ocean. The lifestyle here is much more laid back, quiet, and family oriented. Life simply moves at a slower pace here. Nightlife in many towns means a few local breweries that close by 11. Entertainment is more likely to be a Friday night high school football game or a day kayaking on the river. If you're moving from a big city looking for that same energy, you might find yourself wondering, so what do people do here at night? The cultural scene, while growing, doesn't compare to a large cities. It's a trade-off. You swap the hustle for shorter commutes and a closer connection to nature, but you have to know what trade you're making. And speaking of commutes, as I said before, a car is non-negotiable. If you want a quiet coastal community, Brevard is amazing. If you're looking for a mini Miami, trust me, you'll be very disappointed. And also, we're not far from there. We're 2.5 hours from Miami and about an hour from Orlando, so you can still have fun. Compared to wild prices in South Florida, Brevard County's housing market can look like a steal. Buyers see median home prices in the mid 300,000s and assume they'll have their pick of perfect family homes. They see lists of A-rated schools and think finding the right house will be easy. But affordable is relative, and straightforward it is not. The inventory of great family homes is tight and super competitive. Finding a house in a top-rated school district is like a game of musical chairs blended in with Game of Thrones. There might be a lot of houses in the county, but only a few chairs in that prime location. And when a good one lists, everyone scrambles for it, often with multiple offers in just a few days. This is especially true in master plan communities like Vieira. They're like the poster child. They have amazing schools and amenities, but they also carry a premium price tag. Now, you may find a cheaper home in Palm Bay or Titusville, but you have to pay very close attention to the specific school zones. And if you decide to build new to avoid bidding wars, you may face different headaches. Build times can stretch from 9 to 13 months, creating huge logistical problems for families trying to coordinate school years. You just want to make sure you come prepared. All right. For buyers looking for a low maintenance life, a condo seems perfect, right? They see units for sale at attractive prices and glance at the HOA fee, maybe $400 to $500 a month. They think, I can handle that. It's worth it for no yard work. And this, my friends, can be a huge trap. And that monthly fee is just the tip of the iceberg. A condo HOA is like a subscription service. They can charge you for surprise system-wide upgrades at any single time. That $500 monthly fee is just for basic operations. When a big repair is needed, a new roof after a storm, or a concrete restoration on the balconies, the HOA board will hit every owner with a special assessment. This isn't a small charge. It can be a one-time bill for $10,000, $20,000, or even more. I've seen assessments that have literally forced people to move out of their condo. And then there are the rules. Your beloved F-150 truck? Sorry. Many HOAs have rules against parking commercial trucks or large trucks overnight. Planning to rent your unit? You might discover a 2-year ownership requirement. You aren't just buying the property, you're joining the club with a strict rule book. Not reading every single word of the HOA documents is a mistake you'll deeply regret. Look, I get it. If you haven't lived through a hurricane threat, it's easy to think it's all media hype. People see that Florida has strict building codes and assume any newer home is basically hurricane proof. They think, I'll just buy a concrete block house built after 2001. And I'll be fine. Plus, Florida man down the street is barbecuing before a hurricane hits. We should be okay. The reality is, while modern codes have made homes much tougher, it's like building a great boxer. He can take a punch from the wind, but he's not a submarine. When the real destroyer, water, shows up, he's in trouble. Flooding and storm surge are the biggest threats. A strong wall won't stop a storm surge from filling your home. That's why buyers who ignore FEMA flood maps are taking a massive gamble, buying a beautiful home only to find this in a high-risk zone, which makes their insurance a fortune. This isn't just about money, it's about safety. During a major storm threat, the barrier islands get a mandatory evacuation order. That means you have to pack up and leave your home. The risk is not hype, it's a fundamental part of life here that dictates your safety plan every single year from June through November. On a map, Brevard County looks like the perfect spot. It's usually under an hour's drive to Orlando, which makes people think they're getting the best of both worlds. They picture a life of quiet weekdays at the beach and then popping over to Orlando for a whim. The reality is that while proximity is a great perk, it's a trade-off. It's like having a world-class 5-star restaurant an hour away from your house. It's fantastic to know that you can go there for special occasions, but you're not gonna be eating out there every single night. You're gonna use your own kitchen. That hour-long drive can easily become 90 minutes with traffic, making daily commute exhausting. You have to decide what lifestyle do you really want. The happiest people here are the ones who embrace Brevard for what it is, a unique community with its own character. They see Orlando as a fantastic option for a planned day trip, not an extension of their backyard. Thinking you can live a full-time Orlando lifestyle from a Brevard address is a recipe for frustration. So, there you have it. The 10 most common, costly mistakes I see out-of-state buyers make while moving here to Brevard County. From the shell game of the no state income tax bonus to the harsh reality of 5-figure insurance bills. My goal here wasn't to scare you off. The Space Coast is a phenomenal place to live. It offers a truly special quality of life, but coming here with the right expectations is the absolute key to being happy. Your dream of living on the Space Coast is 100% achievable, but it has to be built on a foundation of reality and not fantasy. That's why you need to know your numbers. You also need to understand the true cost of home ownership here. You need to do your research on the job market for your specific field and not just the headlines. And you need to visit just to simply feel the different towns for yourself. This is a big move and you don't want to figure it out all alone. If you're serious about making Brevard County your home and you want to do it the smart way, then I'm here to be your guide. So please reach out. The link to book a call is in the description below. Let's set up a call to talk about your goals and your concerns. And while you're there, Don't forget to download that free relocation guide that I have also in the description as well. It's packaged with resources to help you get started. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was valuable. And if it was, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more honest, no nonsense advice about Florida Space Coast living. I look forward to hearing from you and helping you make your move. I'll see you in the next video.